Welcome to Broad Street Phanatics, episode number 24. We are excited to have Michael Casagrande join us to talk about the Cotton Bowl and how Alabama is going to be playing. Welcome, Michael, and we are excited to have you on.
Yep, thanks for having me.
So my first question is, what are your thoughts on the matchup against Cincinnati?
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be an interesting game to see if Cincinnati has the firepower to hang with Alabama for 4 quarters. They've wanted a group of 5 team into the playoffs for years, and Cincinnati's gonna be that team to get in there and see what they have. Obviously, a good quarterback, good defense, a running back who came from Alabama, was a reserve running back, Jerome Ford, who's now at Cincinnati. So, be interesting to see how they can all match up.
So, do you think the College Football Committee did a good job ranking the top 10 teams, or no?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't have any issues with the way it worked out. I think everything kind of fell into place the way it should have been. If Oklahoma State would have beaten Baylor in that Big 12 championship game, there would have been more discussion about who would be in that 4 spot, Cincinnati or Oklahoma State. But when they lost, I think it was pretty clear that Cincinnati would get that 4 spot. And with so many 2-loss teams, we couldn't make the argument for those guys over Cincinnati with the conference championship and that win over Notre Dame. Very good scheduling for their part to play the team that would have been number 6 in the rankings, and to beat them couldn't have worked out any better for Cincinnati.
Yeah, my question was, how impressed were you with the game that you saw Alabama play against Georgia in the SEC championship? They thought that no one was going to be able to beat Georgia, and Alabama did.
Yeah, no, it was pretty impressive in performance. Coming from a week earlier, watching the way Alabama played at Auburn, offensively pretty uneven, and then thinking that they were going to go up against the number 1 defense in the country. With the way the offensive line's been playing and the way Georgia's defensive line plays, it didn't seem like the best matchup for Alabama, but they really kind of turned things around. They really figured something out in that week. Maybe Georgia wasn't as good as everyone thought they were. I don't know if they'd played an offense that was similar to Alabama's to be tested in the way that they were. So, I didn't think Alabama would win. I wouldn't have been shocked if they won, but I would have been more surprised to find out that it would be a 17-point win, whereas as decisive as it was.
So our last question is, do you think Alabama's quarterback Bryce Young can do what he did last game against Georgia, against a very solid Cincinnati team?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you give Nick Saban a month to prepare, and they don't lose many of these games, these semifinal games. They've only lost one of them in the 6 years they've been in the playoff previously, and that was the first one to Ohio State. So, and that was a team that had Luke Fickell as the defensive coordinator, I believe. So, I would have Alabama as a favorite. I'd expect them to win the game, but I think Cincinnati is for a group of 5 team, for what they are, I think they're a formidable team. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to ask you your score prediction.
A score prediction. Haven't really gone down the road too far on that yet, but I would thinking maybe 35-17 Alabama.
Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be 38-33 Alabama.
Yeah, 38-33 sounds like a good prediction. I'd say with that one too.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Michael, for taking the time. And we are more than excited to see the outcome of the Cotton Bowl down the road. And thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks for having me. You guys have a good one.
You too.
You too.